Hello sustainably stylish friends, welcome along to another yoga session. So I'm at this gorgeous beachside location. I'll probably end up putting my sunglasses on so I can kind of see you. And I've woken up this morning with quite a sore neck. So I will admit that coming down here and teaching yoga wasn't the first thing on my mind. So I thought today, rather than going against it, I thought I'd go with it and honor where my body's at today. And we can do a little bit of a flow for necks. But I think I'm going to have to put my sunnies on. Sorry, just a bit glary. Today you're not going to need too much space. There's options for props. So if you've got a yoga strap at home, you can use a yoga strap, otherwise like a belt, a dressing gown cord. There's also a block, which if you've got like a fairly solid book, similar size, you can use that at home too. I'm going to start standing today. So feet comfortably underneath the hips, so the hip width distance is 2 fists together. Just place them between your big toes. That gives you an idea of how wide your hips are. We're going to stand in mountain pose for a moment. So just rolling the shoulders back and down. Taking a really deep breath in. Lifting the shoulders up. Imagine you're trying to wear them as earrings. And then exhaling as you roll them back and down. 2 more of these. On the third one, allowing that to come out as if you're fogging up a window. And then opening the eyes, shooting the fingertips down towards the floor, lifting up through the kneecaps, activating the leg muscles. Inhaling the arms up and over, fingertips touching at the top. We're just going to shift the hips across to the, I'll try not to mirror. So we're going to do right hips to the right side, fingertips to the left, and we're creating that crescent lunge kind of crescent moon shape. Oh, my brain hasn't woken up yet. In this one, breathing down into the belly, but also letting the breath fill the lung at the right side there, opening up between all of those little muscles in the rib cage, the intercostal muscles. Deep breath down, breathing into the side body. On the next inhale, coming back to center, exhaling across to the other side. If you like, you can do this with the feet together as well. It might get you a little bit deeper into the side body. Whatever feels comfortable for you. You can either have the fingertips in this prayer position, or you can interlace the fingers and just keeping the pointer fingers like you're holding a gun. Inhale back to center. Exhaling, allowing the arms to extend out wide to the side. Folding forward, bending the knees. Fingertips touching knees, shins, floor, flat back extension. Bending the knees a lot and allowing your bottom to come through. We're just going to do a bit of a squat. Bottom to come through into a squat. So tailbone is shooting down towards the floor. And you might want to, if it's accessible for you, place the elbows on the inside of the knees there and allow them to leverage yourself a little bit wider open through the knees and the hips. And imagine a piece of string drawing up from the crown of your head, extending down the length of the spine, keeping your head up high. Then when you're ready, fingertips can touch the earth if you need to, coming down onto your bottom. Feet are going to come out in front of you in that diamond shape. If that's not comfortable, you can just go for a regular cross leg. Not comfortable at all, place a block or something underneath your bottom and extend the legs out long in front, whatever feels comfy for you. From here we're going to just gently start with those shoulder rolls again. So if you've woken up with stiff neck and shoulders, this can sometimes be a bit of a challenge. On the inhale, we draw the shoulders up to the ears, and the exhale, we drop them back and down. And as you drop them back and down, imagine those 2 big scapula on the back of your body folding down flat against the spine. Working with your own breath, the inhale to rise and the exhale to roll. Inhale to rise, exhale to roll. Fingertips can be on the knees, shins, whatever feels comfortable for you. Working with your own breath. On the next exhale, pause and allow yourself to start rotating the shoulders back in the opposite direction. So bringing them up to the ears, dropping them forward and down. Oh, I'm feeling that one. You can close the eyes down in this. If you like, you can go really, really slow and get into all of the knots, or speed it up and go a bit faster. Remembering the breath. Next time your shoulders are dropped, just pause. I invite you now to look over that right shoulder. And we're going to extend the left arm out long. So it's as if you're going to try and touch the floor beside you, but you're not actually going to place your hand on the floor. The hand is flat, palm towards the earth. You're going to roll the shoulder blade back and down on that left side. And what you're going to do here is just play around with extending that left arm out long. And then if you like, you can place the right hand on top of the head. Just allow it to guide your neck either down, so chin to chest, or you might want to elevate chin towards the sky. And this one here is purely a choose your own adventure, because everyone's neck will hold tension in a different spot. So just play around with rolling that left shoulder back and down, extending that left hand out long. You can even play with fingertips touching the floor if you want, but it's not really about that. It's about trying to get that length through from the crown of the head all the way down the left side of the neck, the left shoulder and the left arm. Breathing into any sticky or tight spots or bits of tension. This fingertips on the top of the head is not for weight, it is just purely for guidance. Oh, breathing into anything that's a bit stiff or sore. Then when you're ready, if the hand's been on top of the head, releasing out to the side, allowing the fingertips to come up through to center, touching at the top, exhaling them out long and wide to the side, sweeping around into the heart center. This time we're going to extend that right arm out long to the side, and just imagine like you're going to place your hand flat on the floor, but you're not actually going to. You're going to roll the shoulder blade back and down and play around with just hovering that right hand over the floor. And then just experiment with your head to the left side, just seeing what feels good for your neck, whether it's the chin to the chest. This is still an active pose, so I want you to draw up through the pelvic floor, through the core, all the way up the spine. Play around with tucking the chin to the chest, or allowing the eye gaze to rise towards the sky. Remember to roll that right shoulder back and down. And then play around maybe with fingertips touching the floor, whatever feels good for you. And then releasing the left hand from the top of the head, allowing it to extend out wide to the side. From here, we're going to sweep the arms around. They're going to create like that scissor movement. So depending on what way you've done it, just remember which one was on top at the moment. It shouldn't be too confusing, but we're just going to go into this Garudasana and we'll have to do it on the other side. So we're just going to inhale to rise the fingertips. If your hands don't touch, so they don't come into that prayer, that's fine. They can just stay up wide. It'll just depend on how much mobility you have in your shoulders. We're going to inhale to rise. We're going to exhale as we fold forward. So if you've got a little bit of stiffness in the neck, it might be a bit of a challenge to do one way or the other. So just work with whatever feels okay for you today. The same with the shoulders. Inhale to rise. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale to fold. Next inhale, we come back to center. We allow the arms to part, keeping them crossed like a pair of scissors. Inhaling them out wide to the side, and then exhaling as you bring them into cross with the opposite arm on the top. Twisting. Garudasana arms, if you can access it, otherwise this is fine. Inhale to rise and exhale to fold, noticing if there's a difference between the left and the right shoulder. I've been holding so much tension, I think the weight of the world's on my left shoulder and my neck, and it's come out as I've been sleeping. You'll sometimes notice that you'll hold tension differently depending on what work you're doing or what emotional things are happening in your life at any time. Inhale to rise and then exhale to fold. Next time you find yourself in center, allowing the hands to part, uncrossing the arms, and then extending them, allowing them to find the floor behind you. If you're up on a block, it might be a little bit more challenging, so come down onto your bottom and allowing fingertips to find the floor behind you. And we're just going to extend the chest towards the front, so rolling the shoulders back and down, tippy fingers on the floor behind. Breath in here, and on the exhale, allowing the neck to turn to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, neck to the left. Inhaling back to center. You know the drill now. Exhaling over the other side. You can kind of have a play around here. If this is enough for you, just keep working with that. Otherwise, you can interlace the fingers behind your back, rolling the shoulders back and down, knuckles towards the floor, and allow yourself to create a little bit more of a stretch through the front of the body there. So we're opening up through the shoulders, collarbones. Sometimes these areas can get really stiff and tight if we spend a lot of time at a computer. And just play around with what feels good for you today. Next time you're back to center, allowing yourself to pause. Inhaling as you bring the arms right around, sweeping them right around to the front. You're going to give yourself a bit of a hug. So allowing whatever hand naturally comes to the top to be on the top, or whatever arm I mean. And then the fingertips find your shoulders and allow yourself to curl forward. So we're creating that C shape through the spine, tucking chin to chest, opening up through the back of the body there, allowing the head to drape naturally. Inhaling up, exhaling, we'll just come out wide to the side with the arms, crossing over opposite hand on the top. So this one will probably feel a little bit more uncomfortable than the other one because it's the less dominant, less natural option. All options are natural, but we have one side we gravitate towards more readily and naturally. And allowing in this space to just be a little bit more introverted. And breathing into this one and exhaling. And when you're ready, inhaling as you gently inflate yourself up. Exhaling to expand the arms out wide to the side. And then let the fingertips gradually find the knees. So from here we're going to use a strap if you need one, or a belt or whatever you've got at home. And this is just going to be that little like cow face arms. So there'll be a bit of this action. In this pose, what actually is supposed to happen, you may never get there. I know I struggle with this one. Hopefully you can still hear me. Is the hands touch each other at the back. You might never get there, so just use a strap, a belt, whatever you need. And so in this one, I've got my right hand on the top. Left hand is coming back and under. We're extending up tall through the spine. And what we want to do here is not allow that right arm to kind of overshadow us and cause us to curl forward. We're trying to get the back long and straight and strong, and remember that piece of string from the top of the head, the crown of the head up towards the sky, and we're opening up this right elbow to the right side. So rather than really gripping and trying to go in for the hand clasp, the bind, just hold on to a strap or something and allow yourself to open up through the chest a little bit more. Breathing into this one. A lot of the time that tension that we have in our neck comes from like the shoulders and the chest and the upper back. So stretching through these areas can really help too. Breathing into this one, and if you've got a strap or something, it can be a bit hard to come out of this one gracefully, so just allowing yourself to let go with the bottom hand, reaching out wide to the side, and then sweeping the fingertips around to touch at the front, swapping the strap to the other hand, and then just moving straight into that cow face on the other side. You'll notice one side is a lot harder than the other. I really struggle on this side because I'm right arm dominant. So my right shoulder's always a lot stiffer than my left one. Again, depending on what kind of stiffness and soreness you've been experiencing, you can also have an experiment here with just playing around with your neck position. Not typically part of the pose, but if you're trying to sort out a bit of a neck niggle, playing around with what feels good for you can sometimes be a really good way to stretch it out. Breath in and sighing anything out. Then releasing that bottom hand, letting go, stretching out wide to the side, allowing yourself to come through, oh, I've caught my microphone, to the front. And if you've got a belt or a strap, you can kind of loop it like this, and it's kind of nice just to have a play around. Find a length that works for you. It's easier if it's longer. Just allow yourself to inhale the arms up towards the sky, and then exhale, just play around with dropping. So here you're rolling the shoulders back and down, and then inhaling, coming through to the front, and then exhaling. And you'll notice you'll have a bit of a play. You'll find all the Rice Krispies, the snap, crackle and pop in your shoulders. So don't do anything that's going to hurt them, but it's just a nice little way to loosen up through the shoulders as well. So if it's longer, it's easier. And you can do this with a belt, a dressing gown strap. And just have a play with that in your own time. And just as you're doing that, have a watch. I'm going to show you how to do like a supported fish pose to open up through the chest. Really be careful with this one with your neck. If you've got a sore neck, mine's feeling a lot better after that bit of a stretch. I'm going to end up so sandy doing this. I didn't think this through when I was setting up my camera. But supported fish is a nice relaxing pose. And what you're going to need is your book or a block or something, and it just goes underneath and lines up with your bra strap line or the bottom of your shoulder blades. It runs along the spine, so hopefully you can kind of see where I'm at with that one, but I'll demonstrate here. I might have to move my mic pack, hopefully it doesn't do crackles. And it's going to look really weird on my lumpy sand. But you have your legs out long. They'll be flat on the floor. Mine aren't because they're on a sand dune. And then you allow yourself to roll the shoulder blades back and down so they're flat, and the head rests on the floor. So if you find this really uncomfortable, you can place another like book or a block or something underneath your head to keep it more elevated, especially if your neck's a bit sore. Otherwise, allowing yourself to just find a way to get comfy, rolling the shoulder blades back and down, allowing the arms to extend out long. And we just rest in this one. Gravity does all of the work for you. So you stay in that one. I'm going to move because it's really awkward on a sand dune. And as you breathe in and out, I want you to think about any way that you can let go of perhaps the weight of the world that you're carrying on your neck, your shoulders, anything that's been heavy on your heart. Sometimes when we're doing these curling forward motions, you stay in fish pose, supported fish, but when we're curling forward over a device, it can kind of really create like this tension through the chest. It creates rounding through the shoulders, and it kind of closes up this ability to shine our heart out bright, and maybe makes us want to protect our heart a bit more and not give as much. So doing these poses like fish or stretching through the shoulders can be really beneficial to open up through there and make ourselves feel a little bit more ready to give and receive. Taking 2 more breaths in fish pose. And to come out of it, it can feel a bit awkward, but I want you to just kind of lift up onto like one shoulder. We kind of say like, you know, you're laying on the beach looking at the surf, which I am actually doing right now, which is kind of nice. And just move that block out, or the brick, or whatever you've got. Brick, hopefully not on a brick, an actual brick, it could work. Book, and just allow yourself to come down flat. Staying there for a moment, just taking a couple of breaths, just getting yourself a little bit more acclimatized to having that spine flat on the floor. And then when you're ready, rolling to one side. And taking a brief moment there for just rest and ease before coming to an upright seated position. I'm going to bring my hands to my heart center, which is now nice and open, and my neck still is a bit crinkly looking that way, but it's definitely better than it was. And I'm just going to bow my chin to my fingertips and say namaste. My soul honors your soul. And just as a little final memento there, that act of saying namaste is an act of gratitude. It's my gratitude towards you, towards the wisdom that you bring to sustainability and style. And it is just a place and a space to honor. So until next time, I hope you have a lovely crinkle neck free day.